everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Since we're heading into the colder months and shorter days, today's episode is focused on seasonal depression, also known as seasonal affective disorder, and how the changing seasons can impact our mental health. Today, we're joined by Kelly, who is going to help us understand a little bit more about why this happens and what we can do to take care of ourselves during this time. So, Kelly, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
Of
it.
course, glad to have you back. I know you
Oh,
were
yeah.
here before, so now it's a little bit different. But can you explain to us what seasonal affective disorder is?
Okay. So that's a really common question. I think a lot of people get it confused with just major depressive disorder or some
Hmm.
other depressive disorders because the symptoms are so alike.
Hmm.
The main difference with seasonal depression or seasonal affective disorder is that it happens during a specific season,
Okay.
fall or winter months. So
Hmm.
typically start in October to like February.
Okay. And I know it also does happen in the spring, right? That not I feel like a lot of people get confused about that. It can also be affected in the spring.
You're probably right. And I have not educated myself in that.
Okay, just because like on the mental health side of things,
Hmm.
we also see a lot of that. Like people are affected by it in the spring as well,
Hmm.
and in the winter too. So it's
Okay.
just
Alrighty.
very.
See, love learning new things, y'all.
That's just what I learned too. But what are some of the most common signs or symptoms people should look out for as the seasons change?
Yes. So a very common one is like the hopelessness,
Hmm.
feeling very down, very lethargic, not motivated, no energy. Um, in pretty severe cases, thoughts of suicide, and especially if you've never had those thoughts before.
Hmm.
Um, Again, it's just like the symptoms that you typically see with like any depressive symptom or a depressive disorder. Again, it's just a lot of it is just feeling very lonely, very hopeless, not
Hmm.
motivated, like mm, any other ones that I can think of. Isolation when you're like not
Hmm.
wanting to hang out with family or
Your
friends
friends,
anymore,
yeah.
getting very agitated or very irritable.
Hmm.
So yeah, those are the pretty much the common ones.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so how does it vary from like major depressive disorder or anything like that?
Hmm. So, like I said earlier, like, yeah, people get it confused a lot of the times
Hmm.
because of like the symptomology being very
Similar.
similar.
Yeah.
So, again, the main difference is that major depressive or any other depressive symptom or disorder happens at any given time.
Okay. I
It can
understand.
literally happen in any season can happen in January, in the summer, in the winter.
Uh-huh.
While again, the seasonal is more of like in a period of time.
Oh, okay. I see now. So it's
Yes.
like MDD, right? Also known
Hmm.
as major depressive disorder, can be throughout any time, right?
Hmm.
Whereas what we're seeing with seasonal affective disorder is more focused during certain seasons, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Got that clear now. All right. So let's talk about some causes, right? How do changes in maybe sunlight, temperature, or daily routines impact our mood?
Yes. So again, like the very common one is like the time change, right?
Mm.
So the time change in itself ruins almost everything. I'm just kidding, being very dramatic, but it really does impact what we call the circadian rhythm. So
Mm.
basically, the circadian rhythm is our internal clock.
Okay.
So because the sun has been setting a lot faster, so by six
Yes.
o'clock it's pitch
Oh
dark.
my gosh, yes.
That basically throws our circadian rhythm or our internal clock in a spin,
Mm,
basically.
okay.
So our bodies are now getting used to, oh, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
So basically, again, so with the sunlight gives us a lot of the serotonin, a lot
Hmm.
of the dopamine. And
Hmm.
so since the circadian rhythm is ruined or, messed up, our serotonin levels actually decrease, and then our
Oh,
melatonin actually increases.
increases.
So
Okay.
it's the opposite, basically.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's why a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't know why, but just during the winter, I just feel a lot more like down, more low
Hmm.
mood." It's because,
I mean, for me personally, one of the main reasons why I like to talk about seasonal depression is because I am impacted by seasonal depression.
mm,
For me, by 6 o'clock, I look out and I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to
mm,
go isolate. I want to go in my room. I just want to go
mm,
sleep because,
yeah.
again, melatonin is what triggers the sleep. right? And so your
Mm-hmm.
sleep schedule gets all funky and messed up. And so like that also impacts your mood too.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of people sleeping a lot more often.
Okay, so that's why a lot of people in the summer they're just out and about, getting
Mm-hmm.
that vitamin D, that
Yes.
sunlight.
Yes.
They're more. I don't know. I guess more like everybody's more vibrant
Oh my
during the
gosh. I mean,
summer.
the sun sets at 9, 10 o'clock. I mean, who is not going to get, be happy during these
Yeah,
times?
yeah, and it also gets colder.
That's true
At
too.
least
So
up
temperature
where we're
plays a
at.
huge role too. And then, actually you bringing up vitamin D.
Mm-hmm.
So vitamin D is also very important during this time. So because the sun is setting so much faster and by 6 o'clock is dark, we're not getting enough vitamin D. I mean,
Mm,
most of us have full time jobs, and so we're stuck in an office or we're stuck in our job. So we already lack in
yes.
vitamin D in that way.
Yes, I actually did some research on vitamin
Hmm.
D, and according to the National Institute of Health, in the United States, 63% of Americans are insufficient or deficient in vitamin D. And
Yes,
vitamin D is actually linked with seasonal depression, with
it is. It
fatigue,
is.
low mood, and it impacts our immune system.
Hmm.
So, a
Hmm.
lot of people get sick during this time and they're like, oh, I
Hmm.
always get sick in the winter. Well, vitamin D
Yes.
has a big factor to play in it,
Uh-huh.
right?
A lot of times people think like vitamins are not important. They're like, oh,
Mm,
there's just something that I need to occasionally address.
yeah.
No, it pretty much plays a huge role. Like one of the things I like
Mhm.
to educate my clients is like, your physical health determines your mental health
That's
and
true.
vice versa.
Hmm.
And so like, getting your regular checkups, getting your, vitamins checked. Like I
Hmm.
said, like vitamin D doesn't just address like the bone or the muscle health.
Mm-mm.
It
No.
also correlates to your mental health because
Yeah.
it does actually regulate your serotonin levels.
Hmm.
And then also, it's actually in charge of the circadian rhythm, the
Yes.
internal clock. So
Oh.
it's in charge of taking care of that as well.
Okay.
So if we're lacking the vitamin D, that's also why it's impacting our sleep as well.
Hmm. And I will say, like on a personal side,
Hmm.
I was actually lacking vitamin D. I went to my doctor's and I was like, "Can I just get a check on like all my vitamins, see how I'm doing, right?" And she was like, "Well, most people don't check for vitamin D, but a lot of people are insufficient, so let me run that one too." And I was like really low, and so I've
Hmm.
been having to take like consistently for like the past few months. I've been having to
Hmm.
take vitamin D, and I will say I've
Hmm.
noticed some changes,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah. And then I've also read up too because I was very fascinated by, like how much vitamin D plays a role in our mental health.
mm-hmm,
Another thing that I found out was that, it plays a huge role with our mood stabilization. It's
mm,
also in charge with our stress. With
what?
cortisol levels,
Okay,
when
yeah.
we're stressed, it raises up. And
Mm-hmm.
so vitamin D also plays a role in trying to regulate the cortisol levels. So
Mm,
stress management too.
yeah. And so if you're really stressed out and you're also low in vitamin D, it's like
It's not
you
going to be a good mix
and it's cold
whatsoever.
outside and you're inside all the time. You're not going out to
Mhm.
take a walk whenever you need to. Like if you need to cool off, it's just like
Yes.
high ending everything,
Oh,
right?
yes, for sure.
So, we're not trying to depress all of y'all or make y'all feel like y'all are hopeless, right? But what are some interventions or some things people can do to kind of help during this time?
So like some self interventions or like more of like therapeutic interventions
We'll
or
go with both.
with
Yeah.
both?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead and start with like self interventions. You can do a lot of things on your own. So one of the coolest things I just found out by a colleague is the light box therapy.
Yes.
Did not know that was a thing, but I think
Mhm.
that is so fascinating.
Mhm.
You can buy it on Amazon for like 20 bucks, 30
Mhm.
bucks. And basically, what they recommend is like, blasting this light. Basically, it's like the sun
Yeah.
and it activates something in your brain to say, oh, like it's time to wake up.
Mhm.
Try to regulate your circadian rhythm. And
Mhm.
so they suggest using that 20 to 30 minutes in the morning when you wake up.
Mhm.
So that's one cool thing. Another cool thing or another suggestion or tools that we can do is a lot of times that we have to make lifestyle changes during this
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we got to work harder during the winter months. Well, I feel like I have to work hard in the winter months. So like, my usual schedule is not going
Mhm.
to feel the same because 6 o'clock, pitch dark, I want to go home.
Yeah.
So I got to force myself to go to the gym still,
Mm.
even when it's like, 7 o'clock and it's so dark outside.
Mhm.
So keeping up with your routine as you had before.
Yeah.
Also, I love my office because I have my windows, and hence why I always have the blinds up because
Mm-hmm.
I need that natural sunlight. I'm
Yeah.
stuck in my office almost all day, so this for me helps a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're used to being in the dark, please just let a little bit of sunlight through. Put your
Yeah.
blinds up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Also, again, vitamin D. Maybe
We're advocates for vitamin D, clearly.
yes. Maybe switching up your diets to add more vitamin D in there, or
Mm.
maybe taking some vitamin D supplements.
Mm-hmm.
Spending as much time as you can being outside. Like,
Yes.
even if you're going on a walk like at 4 before it gets dark, like,
Yeah.
try to get yourself outside.
Yeah, I read that it's really good even especially in the morning. Like the
Hmm.
morning will set your tone. So if you can even
Hmm.
get like 5 to 10 minutes of sunlight in
Yes.
the morning,
Yes.
that will help set
Hmm.
your day. That will
Hmm.
help you get going.
Other lifestyle changes. I know a lot of people tend to be very social during the summer
Mm.
months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep that going as well, right? Again, when
Mm-hmm.
it's super cold, you don't want to go outside. It's like, I don't want to go. It's so cold. I'm freezing.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to keep that going as well.
Yes.
Like I said, one of the symptoms is isolation.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, just keeping up with your friends, with your family, try to spend as much time with them too.
Yeah. And so those are like some self-help
Hmm.
things, right?
Yeah.
Interventions that we do. But how does therapy or counseling support someone struggling with seasonal depression?
Yes. So one main thing is one, it gets you out of the house.
Woo!
Yeah. You get to go talk to somebody. Also with therapy, like we do a lot of psychoeducation, lots
Mm.
of education about what is seasonal depression, because a lot of people don't know that this is seasonal
Mhm.
depression because the symptoms it mirrors exactly as regular depression,
Yeah.
right? So talking to someone about the symptoms, and then also too, I typically collaborate with a lot of my clients of
Mm.
making lifestyle changes. How can I help them make these lifestyle changes? Because it's really hard. Building habits is hard.
Takes 21
So
days.
there you go. And so I help a lot with that too, kind of like, hearing their symptoms and what they're going through. And especially again, when it gets to be severe thoughts of suicide,
Mhm.
safety planning, and just being able to find the coping skills and the resources too during these times.
Mm.
Because I know as well, because during these times the holidays are up,
Yeah.
so that's another key element too that
Mm.
doesn't make things easier. Is the holidays are here, and some people do struggle a lot with holidays, and so
Mhm.
sometimes they feel very isolated, and they'll come in here, to get that emotional support.
Mhm. Or just having someone to talk to as
Hmm.
well, getting outside of their
Yes.
house. So
Hmm.
awesome. And for someone who has a loved one that's struggling through this, how can they help? Or what are some ways to help support them?
Okay, so I mean, there's a lot too. I feel like if you're someone who's very observant,
Mhm.
typically you will see the symptoms happen before the
Yeah.
person usually does.
Mhm.
So pinpointing that out to them. Hey,
Yeah.
I've noticed that you haven't hung out with me in a while.
Mm.
We haven't gone dinner and
Or
such,
coffee.
or coffee, right? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on? What's happening? Other ways is just like if they do have lifestyle changes, help them with the lifestyle changes, right? Like if they
Mhm.
want to go to the gym after 6, join them,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
Or let's see, any diet changes also help them. Be an accountability partner, right? Maybe helping
Mhm.
them have their vitamin D intake.
Mhm.
Taking them to their appointments, offering that
Mm.
emotional support to them during these times,
Mhm.
spending as much time together, right? Not isolating,
Mhm.
um, and just always being very supportive and like offering resources. Like, hey, maybe we need to talk to somebody.
Mm. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Kelly.
You're
This has been a really helpful conversation.
welcome.
Before we wrap up, what is one message that you want listeners to remember about seasonal depression?
Well, one thing I like to tell myself is, like, unfortunately, these are things, or this is something that's going to happen every year,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, like, I am in this mentality or mindset of being proactive. So,
Mm-hmm.
once September, October rolls around, let's be prepared. Let's not wait till the last minute to come
Mm-hmm.
up with a plan. And so, like, we're mid November, December, and we're just like, oh, we don't know what to do. So,
Mm-hmm.
just being very proactive, just having a plan beforehand, getting as many people involved in your circle. And so, yeah, just be prepared basically.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Kelly.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.